What's going on, YouTube? Mike here again, along with Chris and Carlos. We've been getting a lot of messages, emails sent out to us saying that, hey, I got back into the Honda scene, how to make my car fast. So I just bought a new Civic, or you got your guys' Pink Widow build want me to buy a Civic or Acura or Honda. Now, how do I make it fast?
Which is awesome, by the way. I mean, just that we can inspire somebody. I mean, we're just local guys, dude. For us to be able to for people to even ask us, hey, how do you do this? That to me, it's awesome.
It's sick.
It's
super sick because, like I said, we don't do this professionally. A lot of you guys kind of see the garage and like, dude, you have some they have a lift and everything like that. But it's just for personal use. We don't work on anyone else's cars except for our own. So we're gonna give it into a perspective of the topic is how to make cheap, fast Honda.
So before we get into it, I want to make sure you guys understand that everything we've learned by starting our own, from since we were young. So we never. What I mean to say is that we've never went to school for this. We never got taught this. We saw and we learned. We took apart and we put back together and it worked. So we were like, okay, that's how you do it. So sometimes the things we do aren't exactly
technical.
Yeah, on point or how Chris wants them to be. But at the same time, obviously, we built the Pink Widow. It went 11.6, hence the questioning. So here we are, and we're going to give you our kind of breakdown of how to make yourself a fast car. Don't try this with your daily driver.
Never.
I mean, the thing is, yeah, it could last forever, but 9 times out of 10 it won't. So it's good for fun. If you have a cheap project car, anything with a Honda motor in it, single cam, B series, even if it's not VTEC, it doesn't matter. You'll be surprised how much power you'll get out of a single cam turbo. So if you do have a daily and you have enough change to buy something, or you're getting into a little project like most of you guys said, then listen up.
Seriously,
we're gonna give it to you.
I've seen on Craigslist or Facebook like a Honda shell for like $100. So it's a good starting point. What we recommend you do first and foremost, a lot of stuff that comes on a car from factory ripped out of the Pink Widow.
Yeah.
So to make it as light as possible. So the lighter the car, the less horsepower you need to go fast. So step one, that's free power.
Power to weight ratio.
Power to weight ratio. So take stuff off that you're not going to use. We take off AC, heater core, interior pieces.
The works. I mean, yeah, even down to carpet, headliner, plastics. It's just, you don't need any of it that's why also back to the daily driver thing. I mean, you don't want to do this to the car that you're going to be driving every day, but if it is a fun car, strip it, dude. I mean, down to the rear view mirror, you don't have to look back at them. You're going to be winning anyways, I promise. So let's get into it.
All right. So first thing, a lot of the parts that we use now are, replicated, mass produced. And the first thing to make a fast Honda is you're gonna need turbochargers, straight out. So this bad boy right here, turbocharger, commonly used in the Honda scene is a T3, T4.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
50 or 60 trim.
All that means is the intake side is bigger than the hot side. It's for smaller motors to be able to spool up a big turbo. So you got a small squirrel in here and a big squirrel in here. The small squirrel is able to be pushed by the little motor to where we get big air. That's it. Very simple. But anyways, what you're going to want, it doesn't really matter as far as quality when we're going with this kind of stuff. So we use, eBay China Turbo. About $100 on eBay, really.
$100.
$100 and nothing fancy. You want?
Wait. This is why. Okay, so I want to drop in is that when you guys are racing, you're gonna break things.
Yeah.
Like most definitely, you're gonna break something. And if this is a drag car that's only gonna see a couple miles a year, you don't really need the best of the best turbos to last you, 100,000 miles, because you're not gonna put that much abuse on it or that many miles on it. So, hey man, eBay turbos.
And on
you
top
ran on
of
eBay
that,
turbos?
Yeah.
We've all ran on eBay turbos.
And they work. I've had one last me a year. I've had one last me a week. It just depends on how lucky you get with them. But I'll tell you what, if you get serious afterwards, after you build your little fast car, you have a platform to start from, and you can literally change the turbo and a few key components to better parts that'll last forever, and you'll be that much happier.
Right.
So it's not like You know, it's reversible.
So,
it's not reversible.
So for most turbo kits on eBay, they're going for like $500. So you could buy $500 turbo kit for your Honda.
Blow-off valve, wastegate, intercooler, piping, turbo, manifold. I mean, everything but a tune and map sensor. So
the only thing we probably recommend, like I would probably recommend, if you guys can jump in, but I would recommend changing the wastegate. So the wastegate, that's going to control
your boost
and it not over boosting and it blowing your motor.
Stops it where you want it. So with some eBay parts, especially things like that, your motor is delicate. You know, we're trying to push it to where you're doubling the horsepower of the factory. You know, so this piece is a lifesaver. It's the wastegate, like he said, it has a rubber diaphragm inside, and sometimes they're made cheap and sometimes they're weak, just like a boost boot would be. If you take a silicone boot that's made good with 4-ply, it won't rip. You take a regular silicone boot, regular rubber, you poke a hole through it real easy, it'll blow out, and every time you go on the dyno. So same kind of concept. Internally, it looks good on the outside, but internally it's not as strong. So
yeah.
Recommended.
Cheap, but cheap stuff that's okay, like blow.
We went with a used one. Go on Craigslist. Go on, Offer Up, whatever, Facebook, and find a used tile, a used Greddy, a used Turbo Smart, something like that. You'll get them all day, 50, 60, 80 bucks. You don't need a big one. It's what, 38 mil?
Yeah, 38 mil.
38 mil for an eBay manifold. So you're not gonna crush your pockets. Add $100 to your turbo kit.
But pretty much everything else, like aluminum, the tubing, it's aluminum, it works. The couplers work. T-clamps work.
Yep.
Intercooler, don't waste your money. They work.
Yeah.
Unless you want the hot, that squeeze that extra horsepower and make it cool it down. But everything there is gonna work. Now, when you guys add a turbocharger to your car, the next step, what you're gonna use, you need to control the fuel that enters the car.
Right.
So we recommend using Hondata. Hold on real quick.
Yep.
All right. You're going to need this bad boy, Hondata. It's going to go and insert it to your ECU. You're most likely going to convert to OBD1, or if you have an OBD1 car already, this thing's going to run you about $500. You can get them used.
One of your most expensive parts on the car, but again, another one of those.
350,
Yeah, 354 all day for S300.
So
V1s, V2s, V3s. They have all types of versions. Go ahead.
Pretty much, you're gonna want as far as like computer-wise, you're gonna want to spend the money on the computer. You're gonna want to spend your money on some injectors, and you're gonna want to spend your money on a map sensor and a boost cylinder because you're gonna want boost by gear.
Injectors, actually.
Well,
you can get eBays.
You can get
Those are little.
Those Bosches.
Okay. So no.
Explain.
I would rather you get good injectors, okay? Because that's what's controlling the fuel that enters the cylinder, and if it's inaccurate, you're gonna blow your motor. Especially with forced induction, especially with turbo, you're more than likely to blow something. So I wouldn't skimp, like I said, I wouldn't skimp on the engine management, and I wouldn't skimp on the injectors. So
and fuel management. Like you're gonna want to add an extra fuel pump.
You got a fuel pump. You got a
fuel pump. You're gonna definitely want to add, obviously, a good size injector, depending on what power level you're gonna want to go to. Usually, like us, I've noticed that 1000cc injectors are pretty much like the norm, the standard. Yeah, because it's an injector that's not gonna be
it's good at
crazy
idle
expensive, and it's not gonna be.
Well, yeah, I mean, originally, the newer injectors now that are 1000 cc's, they have, they're better quality. But if you get like RCs, they like kind of suck though.
I ran RCs for a long time. I ran 750s.
I know a lot of people have had problems with RCs.
What did we run on the We ran 1000 RCs on the race car, and we had issues.
No, those are
them,
Bosch.
Right?
Those are old school Bosch. Those are they're older.
The first time.
The bigger size
the
injectors.
silver and black ones I'm talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So either way, I mean, you want
old
good
school
injectors,
like the precision.
You
and
can tell an
RCs.
old school by the like how as big as it is. Some of them are really fat, and those are like the old school kind of style of injector, and then they have the new skinny like the ID 1000.
Like your phone, everything changes.
Right. So, with the engine management, the norm is Hondata, but there's other ones that are like similar, like Neptune.
There's Chrome.
And stuff like that. I would stick with one that could do live tuning. But
I would stick with one that a lot of tuners use, because there's not a lot of tuners that like to tune what is it? Chrome and Neptune.
all those.
And that
There's a lot of people out there with
Yeah.
Hondadas that are a lot easier. You can get these new Hondadas where you can hook them up to like an iPhone or like
monitors. You don't need gauges no
Yeah,
more. It'll show you
Yeah,
on your
you put
phone.
it on a screen, on a tablet or a phone.
So what else do we need? What else do we need?
Slicks.
Slicks. Hold on.
Slicks.
Hold on. I'm just gonna use this. All right. I would just use this as an example of a slick.
Yeah. So
Okay.
what you want is a good grip to get out of the hole. So if you lose time in the hole,
This
in
is
the
not a good
60
example.
foot, if
No,
you
it's
lose
dope.
time in the 60 foot, then you're losing time up top, and it's a lot of time up top. So the faster you can get out of the hole, the better top speed.
Hold on.
you'll have, the
Let's
better-
cut the BS. Okay. Front wheel drive sucks for launching.
You're right.
Rear wheel drive will always win. All wheel drive is superior to getting out of the hole quicker.
Yeah.
Weight
So
transfer.
so we're at a disadvantage. You
Reason.
you could okay. So you
Let's
could
give them a
have
reason though.
4, 5, 600 horsepower on a front wheel drive. If you don't have any traction, you're just gonna spin.
Sure.
So you need slicks. What slicks do you recommend? What size?
We run 24 and a halves by 8
by 9.
by 9.
8.5.
20, 24 and a half by 9.
Widest you can fit on the front of the
On
car
a
without
cheap Lenzo.
chopping the fenders up.
Yeah, on a cheap Lenzo. Back to that, the original thing.
Was, I don't-
Front wheel drive, when you accelerate, all the momentum goes to the back of the car. So your wheels are literally trying to get off
Lifting.
the ground, right? Rear wheel drive, obviously, all the power's on the back. You can
On
go.
the front.
All wheel drive, you got the best of both
Damn,
worlds.
we need a car. We need a
Whatever.
model car, man. You got a
They
hammer.
Get it. They get it. You guys get it, right? Okay. So anyway, slicks. We covered slicks. We covered turbo kit. We covered
Engine
injectors,
management.
engine management,
Fuel pump,
fuel pump. Am I missing anything?
sensor.
As far as the stock motors, single cams, pretty much
keep them stock.
pretty much every single cam, unless you have like a VTEC E or
Oh, yeah, weird.
something like that with the little quarter size intake. That's not going to work,
E15,
so don't even try it. It's not going to make it. I mean, it'll get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll get better, but not recommended. So anything like a, like a Z6,
D16, Z6.
Z16,
Yeah, you know what?
Z6 or
Single cams are a waste of money.
no, it's
Oh, they're
not.
gonna hate that shit.
D15B.
I hate
Yeah.
single
Chris,
cams.
knock it off. D15B, I had one. It was it's called the Mini Me it's a JDM swap.
Just get a
It's the
B.
same as the D15B7.
Be
It's a
serious.
single cam VTEC 1.5.
Listen. This is the
I
problem.
put a
with the single
full
cam.
eBay turbo kit on it, Chris, and it made
Shattered the
crazy
transmission.
power. No, it did not. I had a blast with it for 2 years. I had the most fun I've ever had, and this is the reason why I'm still in the game, because I love that car so much. So that being said, believe me, you're gonna have so much fun after you're done putting this kit in, and you're gonna spend so little money that you can smear it in your girl's face for spending all the money you spent, and put her in the passenger seat and take her for a ride, and you might even get some.
I'm telling you. Yeah. I would recommend.
Blow by a Ferrari, you're gonna have a good night.
I understand. So B swap is not that expensive. Like
That's
I
the
said.
thing. That nowadays, you can find a B swap for the same price. as
I'm
you
talking
can
to the
Get an
guys.
LS.
They got the
I'm talking to
single
the
cam.
guys.
Get
that
an LS for like
have-
$100.
But what about
Mounts
the
for like
guys
50
that
bucks.
don't have the knowledge to pull the motor out? To
Right.
They don't
They're not
want
gonna
to.
have
They don't
knowledge.
have the tools. They don't have the
the
stuff.
knowledge to put
could-
this turbo kit on.
They have. Yeah, they can. They can go to Harbor Freight and get one of those 50 pieces. You know what I mean? They can go. They
A
can go to
tool set?
Walmart and get a small tool kit. Because I did it on my single cam.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
know.
have tools.
I know.
It's an easy bolt-on eBay turbo kit. Believe me. You buy it, you get a little 50 piece from AutoZone or Pep Boys or whatever, and you throw it on, you go get a little tune, and you're ready to go. It really is that simple. We didn't do any magic. Those
Right.
single cams hold. The B7 holds. The Z6 holds. I've had it for a long. You'll blow a head gasket. It's a single cam. We'll show you how to do it later.
Yeah.
I mean,
We should have
Okay,
built
okay.
the single cam.
Okay. We forgot the clutch. I gotta get clutch.
That's true.
I gotta get
Yeah.
clutch. All right, you're gonna need this. You're gonna need a new clutch. You're gonna need a clutch to hold all the power that you're gonna be making with this Honda 4-cylinder, spitting flames out. But telling you. So you're gonna need a clutch because it needs to hold. So we recommend a 6 or a 4-puck.
what do we use on the Widow?
On-
eBay,
Yeah, we did a XTD.
XTD, eBay.
It was good for like 300 horsepower, or
Yeah.
it was good for 11.6.
Right. Which, if you're trying to go 11s, then good enough. So, as long as you cut out enough out of your car, again, remember, people ask, like, why, how did you guys do it? Why did There's no way. I've seen people build cars exactly like that. Don't get the times, don't get the speed, don't get the whatever. Use slicks, drive the car right, get practice, try to get your 60 foots down. If you don't have slicks, you're not going anywhere. First and foremost. As soon as you hit the track, you try it on street tires. If you've been there before, the moment you get on slicks, ask him. Last time we went to the track was the first time he tried it, and it's night and day. No matter how much power is in the car, it's night and day. So slicks is definitely a necessity. Clutch is a necessity.
Things that you might be wanting to include. Suspension, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, you could put like stiffer suspension in the rear so it doesn't squat as low or whatever like that. But this is talking about budget. We're talking about budget to make a budget car fast. Use stock suspension, it's all good. Stiffer springs would help, but don't waste the money. So I mean, simply like if you just add it up, we have $500 for the turbo kit, about $500 for the engine management. Fuel pump's gonna run you like $60, $65 for like a Walbro or something.
$255.
You get 1,000cc injectors. Those eBay ones around the $200 price range. They work really good.
Yeah.
So what else is there? You're probably gonna get probably a used wastegate. Used or name brand wastegate. If you're gonna pay brand new, it's gonna be like $350.
And when you buy it, open her up. It's not that hard. It has a spring. Just hold it down. I don't know if you've seen us do it in the previous videos, but make sure that the diaphragm has no holes in it. As long as there's no holes in it and you don't make a hole when you're putting the cap back on, you're good to go.
But you could buy a used wastegate secondhand for like $100, $150.
Fire ring. So on the bottom of these used wastegates, make sure there's a fire ring or you'll never make boost.
Ask me how you know.
Yeah, it happened to me on that single cam that I talked about. Do we have a wastegate with a fire ring? So what I did was I put the wastegate on my tubing, on my manifold, and just like this. So if you look, there's a gap in between the valve and the outer edge. So that lets enough boost out to where you're not making boost. This little ring right here, though, seals it. So make sure if you're buying a used one that's in there. Sorry for the super long explanation.
No, we gotta have a visual. So
yes.
Spend the money on a wastegate. I've had other people who actually took the generic one and they changed the diaphragm with an like the real a tile or Turbo Smart diaphragm because these are copies.
The exterior is the same. It's aluminum.
Right. So what else? Slicks you could get for. I'd say we got ours. I got a pair for $100.
Yeah, Lenzo's about another $150, $200 for a set.
Yeah.
For the Lenzo.
Black Friday sale.
Hey, Black Friday.
True that, brand new.
You're gonna need slicks for your car. Clutch, XTD, the eBay one is like $120 shipped. What are we missing?
Dude, a driver. I mean, really, we're there. Everything's there.
You know what you need? Traction. So you need a traction bar.
A traction bar?
You know what?
Yeah.
I would
Here's
say
the thing.
a cheap
you
traction
don't want
bar.
It's $100.
This is the thing. If they go to the track, they don't know how to drive. Even if they do know how to drive, you can't leave. You'll have so much wheel hop, your brake axles, and they'll be like, "Why didn't you guys tell me about this traction bar?"
Right.
You need a traction bar.
Ooh.
Wheel hop is bad.
Yeah, but that's not gonna keep the traction bar is not gonna keep it from wheel hopping.
Excuse
It'll
me?
keep it from ripping apart your suspension.
Chris, you know what wheel hop is?
Yeah, my tire hops up and down.
When it butterflies. You know what stops a butterfly? Something holding it.
Yeah.
That's wheel hop.
Okay.
Okay. So, traction bars are for wheel hop, and we definitely need that. You're gonna want to run that. They're cheap, $100. It'll take care of it. When you get your alignment done, make sure you get the traction bar before you're on alignment. If you're gonna get one, I would recommend that also.
No. Okay. This is a trick that a lot of people don't understand. When they set up their cars, when you set up your car for drag, you actually want a little camber.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want if you don't want them straight out like that. You want to camber it in because when the car launches, what's gonna happen is when your car launches, it's gonna lift and it's gonna straighten out so that you have a maximum contact patch when you take off, and that little bit
Tricks of the trade
is really effective to getting good 60 foots. But Pink Widow traction bar.
It's actually your toe. You want to keep your toe towed in a little bit because when you launch, it pulls the tires straight. It's not.
if you have a traction bar though.
No, it does either way.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Well, it's solid. There's no bushings. It's solid.
I thought it was a freak. It's camber. I know it's is it camber?
camber.
It's camber.
It's camber. The car lifts. When you
We're
when you
gonna
don't
figure-
have
What is
traction
it?
bar, listen.
Tell
when
us.
you don't have traction bar, you're correct. 100%. If you're not running a traction bar, do that, and it'll
Nice.
stop some of the wheel hop. It really will, because I used to do it.
It's not that. It's keeping the tire. The thing is that your car, obviously, when you're doing alignment, your tires are straight. When you launch, they tend to pull. Even with the traction bar, your tires
Your
tend
tires
to pull.
are what's pulling you.
I'm just saying, they tend to pull.
Did you tell him to argue with me?
Nah,
No.
dude, it's natural. Go ahead. What?
Anyways.
Jesus Christ.
You want, so what they tow it in just a tad, so that when you do launch,
So you slow down.
you try.
So you're 60 foot slower. Chris, why you always gotta say something? All right.
Nah, okay. Well, hey, the audience will let us know.
Yeah, let us know what's up. But I mean, I've never heard of it. I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe I'm looking like a dumbass right now. So,
Right. Things to not waste money on. Okay.
oh yeah,
We,
motor work,
we never got axles. Yo,
no
look,
axles,
what was the axles? The axle company that looks just like an AutoZone axle that you buy?
DSS,
I'm not even gonna name them.
DSS.
No,
What do you mean?
not DSS.
It's not DSS.
Drive shaft?
Insane
Insane shaft. Yeah, insane shaft.
I mean, it looks the same. I don't know if it's the same.
The
or not.
250
They
horsepower
put a nice
one?
little etching on the axle that says.
It looks just like an
Insane
AutoZone
shaft.
axle.
Not AutoZone. Not AutoZone.
Yeah.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly axle.
Yeah.
So they
the
just get-
AutoZone ones break real easy.
So they get the O'Reilly axles. They're really insane shafts axles.
I don't know. Maybe they're using the same materials. Who knows? But anyways, they look the same. They work great. So
We're using stock axles. We're using AutoZone axles, right? Or O'Reilly's axles?
I got O'Reilly's.
O'Reilly's.
Yeah. So we didn't upgrade the axles. So a lot of people, you don't need to spend money on that per se. It'll get you. We're good for 11.6. Okay.
Yeah, depending on how you drive.
250, 300 horsepower.
Just hey, if you just dump the clutch like freaking
Don't.
red line, maybe.
Then you have issues. Try to soften up your excitement when you're leaving the hole. I bet you'll get better results. Just saying. I'm not gonna give you any insight on driving, but that they gotta figure out. That's their problem.
Yeah, I think that's good for. I mean, for the normal for this setup turbo, for the
You
average
can always
person,
any
good for 13s.
You can always go back and look at the Pink Widow and look at the things we added, because pretty much everything we named we put on the Pink Widow. Really, literally.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
did. Everything's eBay. Everything's. So,
I
if you
think-
need to know anything like visually, if you're not a talk person and you know the things that we showed you weren't enough, go back at the Pink Widow. Watch us build that. It has.
Well, if anything,
every
we'll have a
little bit of
breakdown. We'll
information
have a
you
breakdown
need.
of the Pink Widow eventually when we're done with it.
Yeah,
And
that's. I
we'll
only wanted to
split.
do it when we were done, so
Yeah.
we didn't hit our times yet.
If you guys have any more questions, you guys want,
Comment.
need anything else, comment. Let us know. We're more than happy to answer. Obviously, like we said at the beginning, it's fun for us. It's cool for us that you guys ask us for opinions. I mean, we ain't nobody, you know.
Right.
So we just want to know.
Last thing, unless you're a tuner, you're gonna spend money on a tune. That's the most important part. After you add all these fancy shiny parts to your car, get a good tuner. That's where all the power comes from when you're force reduction. And if you also, one of the things that we got away with is we ran a race fuel in the Pink Widow. Fuel is better fuel. You'll get more horsepower, more boost. It's safer. So spend the money. You're not gonna drive it daily, so you're gonna spend like $8 to $10 a gallon, but it's gonna protect your car overall. But I think that's it. Did I miss anything?
I think we're good.
We're good. But hopefully that answers your questions. If you have any questions any other questions, comment down below. Let us know what you think. And if we got anything wrong, go ahead and crucify us on the bottom comment section below.
The bigger shirts are coming. I don't have one on. Nobody does.
Triple X, double
Bigger
X.
shirts are coming.
We're gonna get at you.
They're nice, guys. What's going on?
It's all good.
Come get these shirts, man.